Most new problems aren't new at all. If something isn't performing, it's probably not because you need a new tactic. I'm JB from Belmore Digital with my digital update for this week, Monday 30th March 2026. April Fool's is just around the corner. This week, AI search now prefers content machines can read. Checkout is still quietly leaking revenue. Migrations continue to break things that were working perfectly fine. Instagram finally lets you fix carousel order after posting, and storytelling is being rediscovered again. The thread this week? Most new problems are just old ones we never really fixed. And before I get into it, my Digital Trends 2026 report is out now and it is free. Chock full of detailed strategic insight, it is an essential read for any senior marketer, founder, or C-suite leader who wants to stay ahead of the game. Your time will not be wasted. Grab your free copy, the link is in the description. Now, if you want to know the full story, go read the full post on belmoredigital.com or watch the full-length video right here on my Belmore Digital YouTube channel. So, get in touch to discuss all this with me or drop me a follow to get more of my updates in your feed. AI is quietly raising the bar on content. You've probably noticed search results feeling a bit different lately. The push behind AI search playbooks is simple enough. Content needs to be structured in a way machines can read without guessing. Clear headings, clean hierarchy, proper formatting now matter as much as what you're actually saying. If you're still writing content the same way you did a year ago, this will start to show. You can have something genuinely useful, but if it's buried in a messy layout, it won't surface. That's the part most teams underestimate. Search is shifting from rewarding content that exists to content that could be understood quickly. You're not just writing for people anymore. You're writing for systems that decide whether people see it at all. If your visibility has dipped and nothing obvious explains it, this is where I'd start. We work through this in SEO and content strategy. It's usually less about writing more and more about fixing what's already there. Get in touch to discuss this with me or drop me a follow to get more of my updates in your feed. Checkout is still where revenue goes to die. You don't need another study to tell you checkout is broken in most e-commerce setups. But the patterns outlined in why checkout kills conversions are the same ones we've seen for years. Too many steps, forced logins, unnecessary friction. If you're spending heavily on ads and not seeing the return, have you actually gone through your own checkout recently? Not as the owners, but as someone who just wants to buy something quickly. It is usually a different experience. There's a strange tendency to treat checkout like a finished product. It rarely is. It's one of the few places where small changes can directly increase revenue, yet it gets less attention than campaign tweaks. If conversion rates feel stuck, look here before anything else. We focus on this in conversion rate optimization. It's not exciting work, but it tends to pay for itself. Get in touch to discuss this with me or drop me a follow to get more of my updates in your feed. Migrations are still breaking sites that were fine. You would think by now that website migrations would be handled more carefully, yet the same issues keep showing up in migration checks. Redirects mixed, pages dropped, links broken. If you're planning a migration, are you treating SEO as part of the process or something to check at the end? Because most of the damage happens before anyone looks at it properly. The uncomfortable reality is that migrations fail quietly. Traffic dips, rankings slide, and it's rarely traced back to one clear mistake. Instead, it's a collection of small misses that add up. If something dropped after a launch, it's worth digging into properly. We handle this in technical SEO. It's easier to get ahead of it than explain it later. Get in touch to discuss this with me or drop me a follow to get more of my updates in your feed. Instagram finally lets you fix the first slide. If you've ever posted a carousel and realized the first slide wasn't strong enough, you'll appreciate this. Instagram now allows reordering after publishing, covered in this update. If you're using carousel seriously, this is more useful than it sounds. You can test hooks, adjust flow, and fix posts that didn't quite land without starting over. It also says something about where platforms are heading. Control is being tightened in some areas, while small freedoms are being handed back in others. A bit of give, a bit of take. If carousels are part of your mix, try this properly rather than treating it as a minor feature. We build this into paid social and content strategy. Small adjustments here can change how a post performs. Get in touch to discuss it with me or drop me a follow to get more of my updates in your feed. Storytelling keeps getting rediscovered. Every few months, storytelling comes back as if it's a new idea. The frameworks in these storytelling approaches are useful, but the concept itself hasn't changed. If your content feels flat, it's usually not because you need more ideas. It's because nothing is holding its attention. Most business content reads like it's trying to explain, not engage. Here's the sharper take. A lot of brands hide behind informative content because it's safer. No one pushes back on something that says nothing interesting, but it also doesn't do anything. If you want content to work, it needs structure, tension, and a reason to keep reading. We work through this in content strategy. Otherwise, it's just more words. Get in touch to discuss this with me or drop me a follow to get more of my updates in your feed. And that's a wrap. There's a consistent pattern here. Most of the issues showing up right now aren't new. They're just harder to ignore. Structure, experience, and clarity are doing more of the work. If something isn't performing, it is probably not because you need a new tactic. It's because something basic hasn't been addressed properly. Take a closer look at what's already in place before adding anything new. My Digital Trends 2026 report is out now and it is free. If you're a senior marketer, founder, or in the C-suite, this is the read that will put you at the forefront. Grab your copy, the link is in the description. If you want help cutting through the noise and turning change into progress, get in touch via the details in my feed. And in the meantime, don't forget to drop me a lovely follow to get more of my updates in your feed.